Hey everyone, welcome to dot point 2.7, Why was Mendel ignored? In this dot point I'll be talking about why Mendel was ignored and basically what made him ignored and what were the main reasons of that. Okay, so first off, I know it's a lot of information to take in, but it's all self-explanatory. At the time, cells were not known in detail, so since little was known about these cells, even processes like meiosis and mitosis were unknown. Or very little were known about them, and therefore, because of that, no one was able to actually link his discoveries to chromosomes. So there was no knowledge about chromosomes at the time. We're talking about 1800s where they didn't even have microscopes. So at that time they had no knowledge about chromosomes, they had no knowledge about meiosis and mitosis, or very little in fact. And even cells were not known in detail. When Mendel came across this massive lump of information, this massive theory that could change everything, it was just unrecognized. And that was the main reason why. But to add on, there are a few other reasons, and they include that he wasn't really well known socially and scientifically. He wasn't a high-profile scientist, and because of that, no one really thought his work was credible and actually was, worth looking into. As you know, he did all of his work on the pea plants in a monastery. He was a monk, and therefore a lot of people did not really think he was credible. Adding on, not many people could understand his findings. Mendel proposed all his theories in a very mathematical manner, and at that time, to understand what he was trying to say, as well as have no knowledge about cells, meiosis, and mitosis, or at least very little knowledge about these chromosomes as well, it was very difficult to actually understand what Mendel was trying to get across. Adding on, biologists did not have the background to understand his concepts. Just like I said before, meiosis, mitosis, chromosomes, even lack of technology such as the microscope, all that contributed to biologists not having enough background. Well, okay, these are the few reasons of why he didn't get accepted. But when did he actually get accepted? Did he even get accepted? Well, that's actually a valid, argument, because he did get accepted. He got accepted later on in the 1900s, and it was not until the 1900s that people were able to recreate similar results as Mendel. The scientists who create the similar results ended up finding Mendel's work and said, hey, let's try and experiment this again. And they experimented, and they were able to come with almost exactly the same results in some sort of variation. But it was so similar that they were able to kind of prove Mendel's theory. And to add on, since Mendel did not have the microscope at the time, and almost nothing was known about chromosomes, DNA, these scientists had improved technology to such an extent, whereas the development of the microscope boomed in the 1900s, and because of that, they were able to actually investigate his claims, and were able to find chromosomes, able to actually define all these things throughout the 1900s, and therefore, in the 1900s, Mendel was recognized. So let's just do a quick recap, because this was a pretty short lesson. Mendel had multiple reasons of why he was not recognized, and over time in the 1900s scientists were able to recreate his experiment, and in order to prove the theory they had an increase in development of technology such as microscopes, and ultimately they were able to prove his theory. Thank you for watching.